more salvaged and abandoned vehicles in the state of Texas than anywhere else in the country. Thousands hit the auction blocks each week. It's a gold mine for those willing to stomach the risk. The right flip can turn a clunker into tens of thousands of dollars. Or leave you saddled with a pile of scrap metal. On this episode of Texas Car Wars, Frank and Josh square off.
Bring it on, Josh. I'm ready.
You're lucky I don't have a glass eye, otherwise I'd put it in a sock and beat your ass with it.
Things go just as everyone plans.
My first thought,
Easy, easy. And everyone stays calm.
No, come on!
God, I hate this car.
It definitely feels good to get some revenge on that stupid thing.
come on, Danny.
Another day in Central Texas.
Come on, let's go, guys.
If you can't find a junker to flip here, something just ain't right.
You know, after the last car, man, I would love to get somebody easy today. Somebing we just paint and roll out the door. I think it's gotta be cheap because we're basically broke right now. $10 says Frank's wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
I like those odds.
Another day, another dollar. I got a wad of money burning a hole in my pocket. I'm gonna buy something that I can turn and burn. It won't be with me past a week.
What kind of car do y'all want to do this time?
Something quick, something fast.
Nothing too hard to sell.
Late model cars are our bread and butter, but we're always looking for a classic car to flip. We have a budget of $3,000 today to bring home something sweet. I'm looking for something I can buy today that I can flip and make some good cash. If I can't find what I'm looking for, I'm still gonna bid it up and send these turkeys home with less money than what they came with.
All the regulars are headed to a junkyard in Bastrop, Texas, where they're looking to find their next flipping payday. Now, if you want to run with the big boys, you have to follow the rules.
Bidders have exactly 10 minutes to look at a car before it hits the auction block. You can open the doors, you can open the hood, but do not, under any circumstance, start a car at our auctions. We're starting here with lot item number 27, 1952 Packard.
In its day, Packard was a top-of-the-line luxury car, competing with the likes of Oldsmobile and Cadillac. But Packard went belly up in 1958, making this one a rare find and a potential windfall for the garage who's willing to roll the dice. Barrett is the first to assess the Packard.
Wow, how cool is this? Oh, beep, it's a straight 8 flathead. This is a very rare car.
Straight 8 is an engine that has the cylinders all in a row. It's really rare to see one in this good a shape.
I don't know who would buy. I mean, you'd have to find the perfect
I would buy it. I would buy
If
it.
you don't have the money to buy it.
I love this Packard, but Holly's right. I don't think we're going to be able to find a buyer.
Well, Beep would be in, but Holly is out, which means they ain't bidding on it. Next up is Atomic.
Look at the Swan.
Dude, what's with you and swans?
Come on, they don't build cars like this anymore. The Packard, it's a beautiful car. It's all original, absolutely gorgeous.
Wow. Straight 8. Probably the most immaculate car I've seen in this whole place.
We just need to get a cheap car that we can flip fast so we can feed Marty.
The Packard, it's a nice car. We'll bid on the Packard. We just can't go too high. Beautiful car, man, you gotta admit.
Atomic is in, but without a lot of dough, they may not be able to keep up if anyone else wants it.
Stigger, what you think about this car?
You like this one?
What does Stigger say? See if you can get it to crank.
I can't believe the seats are in that good a shape.
I don't think that Frank deserves that car. I think he's probably going to do some goofy stuff to that thing.
Hey, I found Jimmy Hoffa, man. These cars aren't really that popular, but I've got a buddy who collects them, and I think I can actually sell him this car. This is a possibility.
Frank has a plan for this Packard, so he's in. Rodriguez is the last to get a look.
State of Pennsylvania, 1970.
76. When was the last time it was on the road?
All the trim and everything on here is in decent shape. I would do pretty good on this thing if we could pick it up.
Yeah.
This Packard's already in great shape. It wouldn't take much to fix this thing up and make it shine. Just that one parking lot, be lucky to find one within a month. Packard is out of business. You can't even find these parts for these cars anymore. I happen to know a guy that I can call to try to get these parts from. We'll see where it goes.
If Josh gets this car, he's going to totally destroy it. He's going to drop dingo balls around the windshield.
Despite Frank's objections, Josh sees potential in this Packard, so he's in. Time to see who's gonna take this baby home.
From today's auction, let's get going. How we get here? We get down on the bill.
Rodriguez wants the car. It's obvious. For the good of mankind, I can't let Josh have this Packard. Marty, there's nobody in your shop who can fix this car.
Whatever, Frank. Why don't you go get another Hawaiian shirt somewhere and save some money?
Dude, what are you thinking? Never get into a war with Frank. He's sly like a fox. This isn't about the car. It is all ego, and it's a bidding war, and I'm smarter than that.
Bring it on, Josh. I'm leaving with the car.
Frank, you're lucky I don't have a glass eye. Otherwise, I'd put it in a sock and beat your ass with it.
Enough with the bull.
Good luck finding all the parts you're going to need for that old piece of junk, Frank.
Hi, it's $17.50.
This car is going to take minimal amount of work because it's in such good shape.
This was somebody's baby, and it can be somebody's baby again. Right.
If I can't make money on that car from $17.50, I'm in the wrong business.
With the Packard loaded up and headed to Frank's shop, we'll see just how much of a rebuild he's gonna have to do.
If you like the car, it'd be the cheapest one you ever owned.
My first boss in the car business was a snake oil salesman.
If you feel like you're taking advantage of me, I'll go up on the price.
And he taught me everything I know.
Man, y'all should have been done with this an hour ago. Turn and burn, man, turn and burn.
My crew is Dennis Cunningham and Big Block. I don't even know what his God-given name is. My main line of work is the club business.
Frank owns two of the biggest nightclubs in Austin, and he's all about making money.
It's gotta go, it's gotta go, gotta go.
I don't need to go to Vegas. With every car I buy, it's a roll of the dice.
What's up, fellas? Did you get a chance to shake it down?
So far, I mean, it's looking like it's just needing a real good cleaning.
I think there's a car under all this dirt, man.
The interior in the car is all original, so somebody has taken care of the car from day one.
I like that light surface rust on it. What do you think?
I do too.
Forget a paint job on this Packard. It's got the original color. That's $1,000 I won't have to spend.
I got a fella in mind for this car.
Already?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about him when I bought it, actually.
I'm gonna make a quick call and see if I can't flip the car.
Well, I'm excited, man.
We're gonna knock the dust off of it, and she's out the door.
Frank's plan for the Packard is a quick turn and burn. Frank plans to keep costs to $1,000, bringing his total investment to $2,750. He thinks he can get $7 grand for this car, which would bring him a profit of over $4,000.
Did we figure out if this was... This engine's locked up. That looks expensive right there, Dennis. I'm afraid we were bragging on it too much. If that thing's locked up, man, this may be a can of worms.
If I have to replace this engine, it's gonna cost as much as I paid for the car.
And I guarantee you, if the engine's locked up, that transmission is gonna be seized up too.
That motor is stuck like peanut butter to the roof of your mouth.
That's not good. Looks like Frank's plan is to put some oil in the engine with the hopes that it'll soak overnight and break free in the morning.
It's pushing time.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a long shot to me. I love the smell of oil in the morning. The shops are back at the next auction, hoping to cash in on another winner. While Frank may have his hands full, there's no telling what kind of trouble he'll stir up.
Item number 15 is a 1966 Ford Mustang. You talk about a hot classic. These cars are very high demand.
Ford launched the Mustang in 1964 as the working man's Thunderbird, and it quickly became the most successful launch since the Model A, selling over 1 million by second year production. Mustangs old and new remain popular to this day.
Really? No engine or tranny?
Wiring. Interior looks decent. I don't like this.
Look, maybe we could find just a hood. With the exception of the hood, this Mustang body is pretty straight.
I like the Mustang. Mustang parts are available. That's the thing about this.
And they're popular. They're easy to resell.
What I see here doesn't scare me at all because I know what I have back at the shop.
We have an engine and transmission waiting to go in this Mustang.
I got some ideas going on.
People probably don't know what they can get an engine and transmission for. And ours is free.
Looks like Beep and Holly are going after this Mustang.
There's a lot of rust.
When I think of a 66 Mustang, I think of the quintessential American muscle car.
Does it always sit that long?
It was designed for a woman.
I own one.
Yeah, but you're not a bigger guy. You look a little twerp.
Oh. I hope you guys are smart enough to not buy a car without an engine.
I mean, I would pay $500 for this.
This one?
A few hundred on this would be worth it.
Oh, crap.
So Atomic is in for the Mustang.
New carpet included. Well, there's a seller.
4 hole.
Yeah, nothing.
Well, that's not a quick fix. Got a good body, but there's too much easy money to be made, man, to get bogged down with a project like this. If it was fastback, I'm
Be
with
all
you, man.
over it.
Be all over it.
Frank's out there bidding on everything. How can he even work on all these cars?
Just relax, Marty. This bucket of crap is all yours.
With no engine or fastback, Frank is hands off this Mustang.
It is in definite need of a motor. Can we get in the trunk? No, there's some pieces.
Yeah, lots of pieces. Oh, there's a couple of big pieces. There's a motor. You know, a lot of people like Mustangs.
I know, and they sell.
I think we could throw a few $100 at it, see where it goes. There's a lot of parts on this car that are still usable that I could take to swap meets and sell. Dash, fenders. We'll strip this thing down and go make some cash on it.
The VIN does not seem to be on the dash.
I think the amount of money it'll take to put into this car, there'd be a very little margin of profit on it, though. I'm willing to take the gamble if I can get it cheap. If I can't get it cheap, it's not worth the risk.
So Josh is in, but he wants it cheap, too. There seems to be some good interest in this Mustang. This ought to be a good auction.
I have my poker face on, but I want this car.
All right, let's buy the car. How much are you?
Tommy will have no business trying to step into our game. Those turkeys wouldn't know what to do with this car.
You know, if it's cheap enough, we can afford to buy an engine for it.
Why is Barrett even bidding on this Mustang? That thing's not any kind of Japanese car with plastic bumpers.
Back off, dudes. This is mine.
I'm gonna throw a couple $100 out there just to bid it up real quick and see who's scared.
Josh jumps in, runs the bidding up.
I got 600 bids, 700, 600.
Josh will jack this car up. I'm not gonna let him do that.
Maybe Holly ought to leave the bidding to Beep. I think she's a little out of control.
$700, all in, all done, $650, $700, $700, I have $650.
Well, I only wanted this thing just for a few parts. At that price, you can have that damn thing and take it home. Sucker born every minute.
Yep, that's my name.
That's not going to be a quick flip. That's the project from hell.
You look good in there, baby.
We are pumped about this Mustang.
You know what? We could build a drag car and try to sell it as a drag car, too.
Be realistic.
Holly, I'm trying to make you happy, babe.
Make money. That makes me happy.
Okay.
That sounds like a good business philosophy. Coming up on Texas Car Wars, it's do or die for old school customs.
3, 2, 1.
Barrett Auto was pretty confident about buying this rusty shell of a Mustang. It's time for these gamblers to see if their hand will play out.
You guys want to start this thing up?
Hey, look at that.
At first glance, this thing looks really bad.
We obviously have a lot of body work to be done.
Things that could slow us down will reveal themselves once we start taking these panels off. We have 2 weeks to rebuild and flip this car, or we start to lose serious money.
Barrett Auto has an engine and transmission ready to go.
We had a little ace in the hole that we didn't let anybody know about.
But they're going to have to do just about everything else.
Let's go.
They'll need brakes, a new suspension, a slew of parts, and obviously some body work and paint. Beep and Holly think they can keep rebuild cost at $3,000, bringing their total investment to $3,650. They hope to sell the Mustang for $10,000. If they do, they'll pocket a profit of over $6,000.
This has to come out.
Yeah.
Danny, don't get too carried away now. To the right person, a car auction in Central Texas can be just as alluring as a slot machine in Vegas. Problem is, both can take you for a ride.
Lot number 16 is our next lot. It's a 1995 Mercedes-Benz. This is the one to have.
As the flagship of the Mercedes-Benz lineup, the S-Class is synonymous with prestige. Who wouldn't want to buy a car like this?
Isn't the battery in the trunk?
Push it in. It was unlocked. There.
When this Mercedes first came out, it was $85,000.
That car? Gold.
Sweet.
All we have to do is get this thing running and easily sell it for $5 grand.
Atomic likes the idea of rebuilding this luxury car. Hopefully there's a buyer out there that feels the same way.
Go. We got one more.
Hey, this and this would cost us a fortune.
I don't like European cars at all. They're very hard to find parts for, they're very hard to work on, and I just as soon stay away from them.
Between $5,000 and $6,000 on a resale?
Maybe.
Okay, we're not interested. It's too much, you guys.
Beep and Holly aren't much interested in this European make.
Man, oh man. Does anybody know how to get the hood open on one of these? There's always a buyer for the Mercedes. It's a, hey, look at me, I've got money car. Fairly clean. This is a possibility, though.
Okay, good working.
Frank thinks the Mercedes is a sure sell, so he's in.
Holy moly.
Oh, 1983 is calling.
Hey, Boy George, what are you doing?
The Mercedes, a gorgeous car in its day, and as a child, we'd watch it drive by and go, that's what I want.
Doesn't look like a half-bad car at one time.
They're expensive to fix, yeah. This thing could make some money. I'm just trying to throw Josh off the scent.
They got enough duct tape on there to make it worth something, though, huh?
I don't like the cobwebs.
I don't allow any kind of Euro trash in my shop. They can keep that. Not for me.
Josh is not one for this foreign make either. Not too cultured, I guess. Looks like we got ourselves an auction.
All right, guys, let's go to work here. All right, I'm going to $100 bill. I'm going to $100. $2, now 3, now 4, 5,
I hate Frank. Anything he wants, he just buys it.
Guys, go home. Let the adults play.
I think these guys have been out in the heat too long. This car's a piece of junk.
$800, sir. You started this quarter stuff. Now give it to me. $825. Now 50. 850, 50, 75. 875.
Come on, we actually need to flip a car this week.
Now 900.
I'm pretty sure nobody at Atomic can even spell Mercedes, let alone fix one.
900. 875 to 900. Sold. 875.
The Mercedes is not an easy car to work on, and these guys are way out of their league.
Unfortunately, our broke asses can't afford a winch, so we gotta push the Mercedes up this trailer.
Turn left, you're good.
Anybody who calls the Mercedes Sadies deserves to push it up the ramp.
This f***ing thing's gonna give me a hernia.
1, 2, hell yeah.
They got the brake!
Better them than me.
Oh.
What are we gonna do with you boys? After this round of auctions, Josh is the odd man out.
I would have liked to gone home with something, but I still feel like I'm a winner because I went home with my cash.
Now that Atomic has the Mercedes back at their garage, they're anxious to get under the hood and figure out what it's gonna take to flip it.
Is this not open?
I sure hope these boys know how to speak European.
It's cranking, but no go. Push on that and smell your hands. I bet you it smells like
Oh, that reeks. Yeah, that is freaking stinky.
Add some gas to that hole. Just a little bit.
It's turning over well, but it's not firing.
I think we need to flush the fuel lines.
We got a problem here. The fuel lines are clogged, and the gas smells like The only thing I can compare it to is lighting a baby diaper on fire. I'm taking the reins on the Mercedes because of the three of us, I'm better at the newer cars than the other two.
While you're working on that interior dash, I can get this fuel system cleaned out. Did I spell fuel right?
F-U, yeah.
1K max.
That's our goal right there. That's our challenge.
So Atomic's plan for the Mercedes is to replace the missing parts, flush the fuel lines, and clean it up. If they can keep repair costs to $1,000, their total investment will still be under $2,000. If everything goes well, Atomic believes they can sell it for $5,000, which would give them a profit of over $3,000 in only 5 days.
Smells like Bigfoot's ass.
Dude, my eyes are watering. It stinks so bad.
Back at Old School Customs, Frank's plan of a quick flip is hanging in the balance. The boys soaked the cylinders in oil overnight. Now let's hope they can get this old Packard engine unstuck.
So how about it, fellas? What's it looking like?
We're fixing to see if it'll break loose.
Hang on, man. Let's cross our fingers real tight here. The engine is locked up. This was not in my plan. If this thing turns into a bucket of there won't be any money made on it. To free the engine, I've got Block on one end and Dennis on the other end working it with pry bars, and we're trying to free the pistons. Let's do it on a count. Come on.
Hold on, Dennis.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Easy, easy. We don't want to bust nothing.
Come on, break it loose.
Oh, come on, baby girl. That's what we're talking about.
Keep turning on that thing.
What's that? What's that noise? Oh, that's the starter.
Starter hung up.
The starter's hung up.
The engine was locked up. the starter's not working. This was supposed to be a quick flip.
We can still drop that pan and pull that head.
You know, Dennis, I don't even want to go and buy a starter for this thing, man.
This better be the end of things that we have to fix.
I want to get it going, and I want it to be out of our lives by the end of the week.
Let's get that starter on.
Yeah, let's drop that starter.
Lower this thing.
Looks like Frank's quick flip isn't gonna be so quick. Coming up on Texas Car Wars.
God, I hate this. Yeah.
Bad news is going around.
Don't touch this car.
Wow, babe, look at this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Beep and Holly may have had an engine ready for their Mustang, but there are a lot of other parts they're gonna need to get it running.
I think the Mustangs are back over here. I think we go down this road and we go right.
One way to cut down on costs is to source parts from a salvage yard.
Wow.
This place has so many used parts. They have 1,000,000 classic cars and rows of Mustangs.
We're looking for hood, trunk, maybe a bumper. If they do us a good deal, maybe we can get a headlight.
We can spend half the money on used parts as we could on new parts, and it's money in our pocket.
There's a Mustang.
There's a 66 right here.
Oh, yeah.
Honey, be careful. Oh. Babe.
Oh, Cougar.
Cougar taillights. These taillights are from a 67 Cougar, and they're in really good condition. That would be a neat addition to the car.
But there's only one.
Did we need a driver's side glass?
No, but you know what I think I just spotted? That Cougar taillight.
Go to me.
Ah! Do they have carry-out at this place?
Bag it yourself, darling.
Frank's potential buyer turns out to be interested in the Packard. Problem is, the car's not as far along as Frank thought. There's a lot these boys are gonna have to do fast if they're gonna make this sale.
This thing weighs about 60 pounds. Set that bad boy down there.
The engine's unlocked, the starter's working, it still won't run. I'm starting to lose my patience.
What are you thinking, maybe?
It's either a valve stuck open or maybe even bent. See, it's leaking right down through there.
Yeah.
Bad news, bent valve, just slightly, but it's enough that it won't hold compression.
Worst case scenario?
800 to 1,000.
I really didn't want to pull the engine apart. I'm in business to make money, not piss it away.
Let me take it down to the machine shop and see if they'll true it up.
God, I hate this car.
I'm picking up that Frank may not be happy about this Packard anymore. Over at Atomic Garage, the boys are busy with the fuel system on the Mercedes. They've put in a new pump, hand-cleaned the injectors, and are getting ready to install a new filter.
Ah, that reeks.
Oh, went in my mouth.
It's smelly work, but somebody's got to do it.
Do it again. Turn it.
Let it run for a bit.
Let it run.
Well, these boys just may know what they're doing. Never mind.
There's 3 essentials to making a car work. If it can't breathe, it doesn't run. If it doesn't have spark, it doesn't run. And if it doesn't have gas, it doesn't run. I've addressed all 3 of these. It's broken.
Just man up.
Man up, dude.
Yeah, man up.
I really hate having to call anybody. Sometimes you have to swallow your pride and move forward.
Hey, Jorge.
Hi,
how are you, man?
How are you?
Good, what about you?
Hey, dude.
A friend told me about this guy, Jorge. Apparently, he's a ninja when it comes to Mercedes-Benz.
So what's the deal on this one now?
It's broken.
He's got the $12,000 Mercedes scan tool. Hopefully, he fixes my problem.
Nice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me ask you this. Before replacing the pump, did you flush the fuel tank?
Didn't flush the fuel tank.
Well, that's gonna be your main issue.
Awesome. Okay.
What's European for oops?
Dude, you gotta flush the fuel tank. Otherwise, you're pumping crap into your fresh and clean lines.
Dude, we just wasted a lot of time. Man, let's get this damn fuel tank out.
Oh, dude. I should have known better.
Well, Ken, you learn something new every day. Frank's buyer is on the way over. His quick turn and burn has turned into a can of worms. The boys have replaced the starter, the rods and bearings, not to mention the bent valve, and put on some new tires. They barely got it running and just want it out of here.
I hate this car. I don't want to work on it anymore. I hope the buyer brings his checkbook with him.
Did you get it running?
It runs like a sewing machine, man.
Well, we need to do a test drive.
That may not be a good idea.
You know what? Let's get Dennis to drive us. We'll ride in the back.
Okay, we can do that.
Come on.
It doesn't have air conditioning. It'd be nice if you could put air conditioning in it.
Frank was so anxious to sell the Packard, he told the buyer over the phone he could have it for $5,500.
I know you can't find the words to describe how you feel about this car.
If Frank is going to make the profit he wants, he's going to have to raise the price. We'll see if Frank can work his magic.
Here's the deal. When I quoted you that price, that was based on us doing X amount of work. Well, we spent in parts probably another $1,400. All I'm wanting from you is another $500.
Another $500.
I didn't figure it'd be a problem. I mean, you're more interested.
So what are we up to now?
6,000. You're stealing the car, man.
Yeah. You know, I think it'd be a good idea if you paint the car.
If you're a solid buyer on the car and you want the car painted, I will jump through flaming hoops for you. What color do you want?
How about like a turquoise?
Even turquoise, Frank?
You're talking about spending another $1,000.
Well, I think we can do that.
Well, where's your checkbook? Let's talk about it. We'll do whatever you want to do.
This is turning out to be the longest quick flip I've ever seen. Beep and Holly have sourced the extra parts they need for the Mustang and are ready to get it looking nice. They've started stripping and sandblasting, but to move things along even faster, they brought in a paint and body specialist to make sure it's all done just right.
So it's probably going to be a lot better to keep it black.
Yeah, it's matte black, which is semi-gloss.
What are we going to do up here? Because I've got some ideas. I'm kind of wondering if we should paint the engine bay. This
What's up?
New.
I want to come look at this.
What's up?
Yeah.
It's been cut out. Somebody cut it out and welded a different VIN in there. Might want to see what VIN this is or where it came from, because obviously it's not from this car.
God,
right.
A VIN number is kind of like a birth certificate, and without the proper VIN number, the car's basically illegal. I'm very worried. It could be a stolen car.
Don't do anything else. Don't touch this car.
Well, I think that may be a good example of a worst-case scenario. Coming up on Texas Car Wars. Atomic Garage can't catch a break.
No! Come on!
Barrett Auto has stopped work on the Mustang to try and figure out if the car's VIN has been tampered with. If it has, this Mustang could be stolen.
You see where they cut it and weld it back in.
This does not look good.
Holly has herself some questions for the auction house where they bought this car.
Hi, Jennifer. We were just about to start work on the Mustang. It appears that the VINs have been cut off and re-welded with new VIN numbers. Oh. Yeah.
There's a possibility that the car itself got stolen at one point, and they replaced it with a VIN that had a clean title.
Holly, I've already run the VIN number, and that comes back with a clear title for a 1966 Ford Mustang. I think it's time now that we get some authorities involved.
Wow. My first thought, oh.
Holly, you took the words right out of my mouth. Across town, things are suddenly looking up at Old School. With a down payment in hand, all Frank has to do is paint this car to finish this flip.
Let's get this thing to the paint shop and move on to the next one.
Yeah, this whole thing drives like a dream, man. And a fire.
Oh, son.
Electrical fire.
We're driving to the paint shop. I look up in my rearview mirror. The car's on the side of the road. What happened, Dennis?
Speedo cable caught on fire.
Speedometer cable got like super, super hot.
Man, that's horrible looking.
Bad, bad, bad.
Enough already. I have obviously pissed off the Packard guys. This car is possessed by demons.
Just when things were looking up for old Frank. Meanwhile, Ken threw in the towel and had the gas tank professionally cleaned. Maybe they'll finally get this Mercedes out the door.
We basically flush the tank, get it cleaned up. We're still hoping to make between 35 to 4 grand on this car.
This is not safe, is it?
Sure it is.
The boys aren't taking any chances. They called Jorge and his partner to come make sure this thing gets running.
Welcome back. There is nothing left in this fuel system that isn't clean.
Turn the key on.
Let's see your success story. For the love of God, I need this thing to turn over. Here. That doesn't sound good. Let's do it again. Your ASR light on? Yeah. Throttle body. Throttle body. In a rudimentary sense, a throttle body lets air in and you have combustion. Throttle. At this point, unless you want to put $1,200 into throttle body, you're not moving forward. This could be just a money pit. I feel like a bag of right now because I can't get this thing going. It's laughing at me. I can hear it laughing at me.
Ken takes all news hard, so when something major doesn't work in an engine, he's gonna freak out, and he's freaking out right now.
No, go, 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 come on, no, come on.
Poor Ken. Some guys just don't know when it's time to quit. Old School Customs doesn't seem to be having much luck. The electrical fire knocked out the battery and fried up a bunch of wires. But Dennis and Block just about have it all back together again.
One thing after another.
I'm telling you always.
On its best day, this Packard will never be worth more than $7,000. Every dollar I spend takes money out of my pocket.
Packard buyers aren't a dime a dozen. Trying to get this Packard up and running is putting a lot of pressure on us, so we definitely have to get this car going.
Hey, Dennis.
Uh-huh.
I had a dream about this thing last night, man. It was on a big, long chain attached to a big boat in the ocean. Well, there ain't no time like the present, fellas. Can I have the honors? All three.
All right.
1.
Come on, baby girl.
Come on. 2, 3.
Come on.
For all the aggravation this car has put me through, I need to make at least $2 grand to make it worth my time. But that's a tall order without a running car.
All right, come on.
Oh, man.
Hey, give it a little bit there.
I feel like a little kid at Christmas. Can we please finally get rid of this car, please?
You all right?
I'll ride if she'll ride.
You better hurry.
Well, y'all did good, man. I'm gonna go to the bank. I'm gonna bring you each a $100 bill.
They better hurry and get that Packard to the paint shop before it decides it doesn't want to go again. With the Mustang being potentially stolen, Beep and Holly had no choice but to call in Johnny Law to weigh in on the matter.
Okay, so what's going on?
VIN plates have been cut off.
Okay.
New VIN welded in.
I'm hopeful that they can get it cleared up. I'm hopeful that it has a hidden VIN and everything is straightened up.
Let me check a few other places where the VIN number's usually located and see if it'll match this one.
Alrighty.
1317. Can you check a VIN number? 10-4. It's 6 Frank 07 Charles 1. And the VIN number that I gave doesn't match the VIN number that's on here, and that's on the body frame back there.
This is bad.
The original VIN number comes back to a V6. This number comes back to a vehicle that has a V8. Hate to give you the bad news, but this property's gonna have to be seized by us because it is a stolen vehicle.
But we're out everything on this. I mean, the car, the money, the time, everything.
Everything's strapped down, ready to go. All right, thank you. Appreciate you coming out. No problem.
We had a lot into it already, and I'm attached to the car. It sucks. It hurts a little bit.
Well, this hasn't been much of a sale. Barrett Auto won the Mustang at auction for $650. They were another $260 into it when it was seized, leaving them $910 in the hole. Such a shame.
It's just all a part of the gamble. It's the highs and lows of flipping.
And to think, they thought they were going to sell it for $10,000. Coming up on Texas Car Wars, Atomic lays it all on the line.
We told them it starts, so it better start. My head hurts, and all I want to do is hang out with Sarah.
The Mercedes is beating his ass right now, and I'm gonna help alleviate his stress. What colors?
I don't know. I'm an artist. I got this guy. I already started painting him red.
Yeah, we're geeks, but geeks are happy people.
Dude, he's got a mohawk. Get him. Is that an undershirt or is that his pants? I don't know why a rat would wear an undershirt. Either I sit around and paint figurines or I start strangling people. This guy's turning out awesome.
The Packard's back from paint, and the old school boys are putting the finishing touches on it in hopes they can finally make the sale.
This thing was supposed to be a quick flip. I need it out the door.
Wow, this is great.
I didn't think this color was going to look like
Oh,
that.
yeah, this is a great color.
Even though they destroyed the original paint color, this Packard is looking pretty good. Old School Custom should be proud of their work on this one. All that remains to be seen is whether the buyer will make good on their handshake agreement or walk away. All in, Frank ended up sinking a total of $5,250 into the Packard. He's hoping his agreed-upon price of $7,200 is still good to go.
Frank, you did a good job. Here you go.
The jelly and the roll, man.
You want to count it?
No, it's all there. I'm happy because Jim's happy. Let me start it for you. But I don't care. I hate this car.
Frank managed to sell the Packard for $7,200, $200 more than his original goal price, but for a smaller profit of just under $2,000.
Y'all join me in a little prayer here. Please, don't let that Packard come back up the drive.
No reverse light. No reverse light, please.
Well, Ken finally agreed it was time to cut their losses on the Mercedes. They put in a new grille and bumper and cleaned it up some, but they still can't get it to run. They're hoping to find a buyer that doesn't mind fixing a few things on their own. They put it online and already got a nibble.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you in person. Thanks for coming out today.
Absolutely, sure. Oh, wow.
With costs piling up on the Mercedes and no guaranteed end in sight, Ken decided he'd be happy to see this fine piece of German engineering finally roll out of his garage any way possible, even if it has to be towed out.
It's a 95, but it's in nice shape.
Let me check out under the hood, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
He knows it doesn't drive, but we told him it starts, so it better start. I don't care how much money we make or lose on this Mercedes. I just want it out of here.
Atomic Garage spent almost $1,000 all in on the Mercedes. They hope to cut their losses with a quick break-even sale.
Well, awesome, man. I think I've seen what I need to see.
So the bad news is we're not getting a lot of cash for the Benz. The good news is he's going to throw in something for trade.
You see all the bunnies and birds run? I'll give you the gun in $750. I mean, I know what the gun's worth. Retail is about $650. It's never been fired. I mean, the gun's in really good condition. It's got the chokes with it.
Damn, man, I know we're in Texas, but come on. If we could do $1,000 for the car in cash and do the shotgun, it's yours.
We have to make something back, essentially.
Yeah.
I could take this thing home and the whole thing could crap out on me.
I honestly don't think you're going to find a deal like this anywhere.
He's right.
$1,000 is a steal.
All right, man. Cool. I'm good with it. Yeah, I'm good with it.
I know you're
it's a
gonna be
chance
happy.
I'm going to take, but yeah.
All right, sweet, man. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
One more time. Thank you.
Atomic Garage sold the Mercedes-Benz for $1,000 cash and a shotgun worth $650. That's miles off their original goal price of $5,000. But they look pretty happy getting out just $50 in the red. All three shops had their fair share of bad luck this go-round. But Frank leveraged his bad luck into a higher sales price and came out the winner in the end.
Since you guys hated the Mercedes so much, let's say we blow the hell out of it.
Oh, I love it. That is such a good idea.
Let's get out of here. Let's go see some guns.
I have literally forgotten more about fixing cars than these kids will ever know.
As bad as these guys got taken on the Mercedes, they probably got taken on the shotgun, too.
Show it to every car that comes into the shop.
This could be you.